Now sports with Chris Dewar from the University of Illinois Sports Desk.
It is certainly noteworthy that both the Hendrickson brothers of Macomb were athletically gifted enough to play Division I sports in college. Myers played football at Western Illinois. Davis played baseball at Illinois and Champaign. But it's also telling of their father Mark's passion for coaching and teaching that both of the former WIU football coaches' sons ended up working in college sports post-graduation as well. Myers is the head football coach now at Kansas Wesleyan. Davis' success in his own right in administration as the assistant athletic director at Pitt, a career shaped by the circumstances of his uniquely Macomb upbringing as well.
The crossover is incredible. It's every day, every second. I reference my time as a college baseball player because it meant so much, and it taught me so much. And I'll step back a moment though. The best lessons I ever learned was from the Hendrickson household, and just seeing my parents, the way they went about it every day. I'll reference my dad here, but my mom had the same mentality as my dad, and so seeing both of them, the way they did that. So my dad was always in a high pressure, highly visible position as a college football coach. But to see the way he always led with a service mentality. He always had integrity. He always did things right. He always made time to help people outside of work. So luckily enough, I think I picked up on some of those things, and that's what I try to use as my core values now as I lead. That said, I saw the other side as well, as that fierce competitor that my dad brought to work every day. You know, he knew there was 11 teams on his schedule that year that were going to try to do everything they could to beat Western. And so he was just the fire in his eye when he'd go to work and practice and seeing that environment. That honestly, just being at home and seeing the way my dad went about his work taught me more than anything else. But then as I progressed through my life, at every stop at Macomb, starting at elementary school through junior high and high school, every stop, there was someone there that was willing to go out of their way to help me. Multiple people. Beyond their role, you name it, coach, teacher, youth pastor, they were willing to take that extra step, go the extra mile to try to help me get to the next level. And that's what makes Macomb so special, are those people, the community, when your high school librarian's your neighbor and your doctor who lives down the street, it makes it a really tight community, and it makes for a lot of really good advice.
Myers is the head football coach at Kansas Wesleyan. You're in college athletics, and you touched on being around your dad daily. Is it any surprise at all that, his sons, Mark Hendrickson's sons, went into a career of service in college athletics?
But when you talk about Myers, right, the guy's a wizard. I mean, it's a credit to him for the work he put in, but at the same time, he had a pretty big benefit of picking my dad's brain. And my dad let us in a lot. He would show us, we'd be in the office a lot, draw some plays on the big screen, watch tape. Myers always had a playbook with him at a young age to keep it hid in the house. He'd make play, draw plays, hide it. Every once in a while, I'd get to see it. But from an early age, it was just so clear that he was passionate about football. So I'm so proud of what he's doing. And I would certainly be irresponsible if I didn't mention my younger sister, Georgie. She had a very quiet, successful career as a three-sport bomber at Macomb as well. And she used that to go on and, talking about explore the world. She went to undergrad at Baylor and just crushed it. And now she's pursuing med school in Spokane, Washington.
Wow.
And so she's actually a role model of mine for the way she's used her talents, and she's going to do some amazing things in the world as well.
Is there anybody in Macomb particularly, and I know obviously you kind of touched on a whole group, but is there anybody in particular you want to shout out for just being such a great part of your individual success story to this point?
The name I have to make sure I mention is Coach Max Krebs. We moved to Macomb in 1999. I was in third grade. I think within the first 2 days, he was in my backyard and we were taking swings. So it wasn't quite that instantaneous, but my first year of Little League, Coach Krebs had me because his son, Derek, happened to be on the team. And so starting in third grade all the way through my junior year of high school, he was my baseball coach. And so when people go and give me credit for what I did at Illinois, I had essentially a personal tutor for 8 years, and so I give so much credit to Coach Krebs. And he would remind me, speaking of setting the bar high, of names like Phil Bradley. I had never met Phil Bradley. I think I may have met him once in high school, but I don't know him. He doesn't know me. But just having that role model, seeing that name up on the record board every year, we played on his field. So just having someone to constantly remind me that Coach Krebs deserves so much credit. I remember it was so special that first game I saw my freshman year at Illinois. He came to a game, and there were a little bit of tears in both our eyes. Just so many flashbacks of what it took for me to get to that moment, what he meant to it. The other name I got to mention real quick is Dusty Bensko. Anyone that is familiar with high school athletics knows that name well. And he was in my life, a shorter amount of time, but he was there at a very pivotal time when I was about a sophomore in high school. He was helping out in Macomb High School. He had just fresh playing off at Illinois professional baseball. And he told me, and I remember the conversation well, he told me he thought I was good enough to play at Illinois. And that coming from someone that had done it and had so much success meant the world to me. And I felt like it gave me the confidence to then go out and really try to get it. Dusty's a humble guy. He would never admit he had anything to do with my opportunity, but that 30-second conversation alone was very influential.